So it seems like investors are incredibly bullish on tomorrow's CPI data report. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky here with Technical Solutions, and I'm going to make this video super quick and cover some points that I think you need to know before the CPI data report tomorrow. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the market gained 1.69% and another 0.25% after market hours, and this is NASDAQ market just the day before the CPI data report. For those that are unaware when the CPI data report is, it's tomorrow. It's going to be June 13th, 1 hour before the market opens at 8:30 a.m. And yes, I will be live streaming it for free on this YouTube channel. So if you want to tune on in, make sure you drop a thumbs up, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you turn on your post notification so YouTube notifies you when it is that I go live. The great thing about this is, okay, well, I want to understand how bullish the market is. Now, I wanted to follow up because obviously we do not know what the Federal Reserve is going to do on Wednesday during their FOMC meeting. This is when they're going to either announce a rate hike, a rate pause, or a rate cut. But according to this Fed rate monitor tool, which of course does not have to be 100% accurate, but according to this tool, as of today, there is an 80% probability that the Federal Reserve on Wednesday will not raise interest rates. This is stating that they expect that the Federal Reserve is going to pause. The reason this is so important is this will be the first time that the Federal Reserve pauses since they've began to raise interest rates very aggressively as inflation hit 40-year highs, right? So this week is going to be pretty important, and this week might be kind of the point where maybe the Federal Reserve is actually going to begin to pivot, right? 80.3% probability that they won't raise rates and they're going to pause, or a 19.7% probability that they do raise rates. You guys let me know down in the comment section what you think. All I know is I wanted to show you these numbers first, and based off of what is reported tomorrow, the inflation report, I think will really skew what is going to be expected of the Federal Reserve. And let me explain. As of right now, if I'm not mistaken, let me go ahead and refresh this. The CPI data report is expected to come in with a 0.2% of an increase. But if you look into the actual breakdown of the CPI data report, we're going to be taking away a 0.9 and adding 0.2 if it comes in as expected. So inflation should be coming down. But what happens if inflation comes in higher than expected? Meaning that, again, it didn't go down as much as we expected it to. One of two things, right? Well, inflation is therefore more sticky than we originally expected. And second, the next day, right? June 14th is when the Federal Reserve is expected to announce their rate pause or their rate hike. So what do you think is going to happen if inflation comes in more aggressive? Well, obviously, I think this is where we will see the big skew, where it could go from 80% to maybe 20% if inflation comes in much higher than what was expected. Therefore, the Federal Reserve will be more likely to be more aggressive with this up and coming rate hike. But of course, if this inflation report comes in as expected, then it won't be much of a surprise that if, again, during that FOMC meeting, the Federal Reserve pauses, therefore accommodating or really just respecting the market's expectation of, being more bullish and potentially actually pausing. All I could remember and go back to is when Jerome Powell spoke, I believe it was last month, and he stated that the stock market is often ahead of what the Federal Reserve is actually thinking. So that's where my optimism is at. And one thing that I always try to preach with our LPP team and to all of the beginner traders that like watching our videos is that, again, our job is not to predict the future. Our job is to prepare. And I would rather react when the market does choose its direction, as it will, right? Tomorrow, once that CPI data report is released, I'm going to be breaking it down live on YouTube. So all you need to do is subscribe. But then we will see how the market will react, if it's either bullish or if it's bearish. There's always money to be made as long as I focus on one thing, and that's market direction. So very excited to follow up tomorrow. Tomorrow and Wednesday are going to be very significant days. Again, if you're new to the market, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you drop a thumbs up. And again, I do trade live every single morning with the LPP team. If you've ever wanted to see what it's like to watch me trade live, click that second link in the description down below and learn a little bit more about our LPP team and see if we are a good fit for you. I appreciate your time. Hope that we're in thumbs up. Again, just wanted to talk about market expectation for tomorrow's CPI data report, but I also wanted to share this Fed rate monitor tool and then follow up tomorrow once that CPI data report is actually factored in, and to see how it changes the probability of what is expected from the Federal Reserve on Wednesday. So I hope that earned you a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. I'll see you tomorrow for our CPI data report. And again, all you have to do is drop a thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.